Okay, so in the last few months of my life, I have probably had some of like the best months of my entire life in terms of my business, myself, my spiritual growth, my relationships, and really everything in my life. And it wasn't until I was sitting there last night, kind of just reflecting on my life, um, I look back and I realized I am exactly at the point that I used to fucking dream of a few years ago, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So I wanted to start this YouTube channel to kind of share some of my ideas and things around what's going on here in this world, spirituality, religion, philosophy, and how I've been able to bring that into my business, my personal life to become a better person and create real change in my life. And considering you're watching this video, you're probably somebody else who wants to create that real change in their life. So today I have a few different ideas that I want to share. I'm going to share three different things, three different little daily habits that I've got myself into to really be able to brainwash myself into success. So again, if you're watching this video, you're probably already at the point where you kind of have the idea. You have the feeling that there is something more going on to this world here. Like you weren't just, you weren't put here just to work a shitty job that you don't want, to have a shitty life you don't want, step in line and do what everybody else wants to do. You have that deep feeling that you are meant for something greater and that you can really do something special with your life. And before I even understood any of this stuff that I'm going to be talking about and going to be sharing on this channel, I had that feeling. It's like a gut feeling in there of like, there is something more out there and I need to go out there and I need to discover that. And I need to go on the hero's journey to figure out, what is my place here? What is this calling inside my gut to go out there and do something bigger? So I think that's a really first important step is to really start to immerse yourself into the world. And if I were to put into one thing, it's like spirituality in general and starting to educate yourself on all the great teachers that have been before us and are like in this day and age, like people like Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, Vadim Zealand. You can go on and on. There's so many different people who talk about these same things in different ways, and you should be able to find people that resonate with you. And that's what I want to be able to do with this channel and kind of share these things that I've learned and put them out there in my own way that makes sense to me and hopefully can maybe make sense to you too. Okay, so the first thing that has become one of my favorite habits that I try to do all day, 24/7, as often as I can, is simply reminding myself who the fuck I am and reminding myself of the true possibility of what you can do on this earth, which is absolutely fucking anything. So, what I like to do every single morning, when your subconscious mind is very impressionable, in those first 30 minutes of the day, obviously don't touch your phone and sit there and find a way to be able to ground yourself. What I like to do, I like to go step outside, just sit there, take a few couple deep breaths, and literally just and not have all those thoughts in your mind, but really, take a deep breath. And then I also just like to put on a YouTube video of, whether it be like a lecture from Joe Dispenza, like a podcast of David Bayer too. He's really love watching his videos in the morning. Something that's gonna get me into the mood of being inspired and really just reminding myself of, hey dude, you're a fucking infinite being, dude. You're not a fucking body. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and it's very easy to go unconscious. And I think that's really what the game is in like reminding yourself every single day and making a habit to remind yourself is to be able to be conscious of your unconscious thoughts and your unconscious patterns. Yeah. So I kind of like to treat it like a game. How often can you really stay concentrated and present throughout the day? And when I mean present, I mean, not letting your mind wander to all those different things, to that conversation with that person, to that argument with that person, to that thing you need to do, to, all your financial stresses, all these different things in your life where they're trying to pull your energy away and pull your attention away. I like to treat it like a game. How often, how much time can I spend in the day of being present and being conscious? And when you treat it like a game, it becomes a little bit more fun. It's almost like the battle. I think of it like it's like the little devil on your shoulder sitting there trying to remind you of all these things that you need to worry about, that it's trying to pull your energy away from the present moment, which is ultimately the only thing that ever fucking exists, is the present moment, the here and now. So I think that's one of my first favorite habits is becoming conscious of my unconscious habits and my unconscious thoughts and making it a game to really just remind myself on a daily basis, dude, who the fuck are you? Are you gonna be the motherfucker who sits there and falls into those fucking beliefs that come into your mind, if you can't do it, you need to worry about all these things? Or are you going to be the one who creates your own reality? Are you going to be the next story of somebody who really changed your own life? So I started doing this a few months ago, really, really consciously being present. Eckhart Tolle, the power of now, the power of the present moment. That is the only thing that is that actually fucking exists is right now. So I think if you can make it a game and you can make it a habit to become conscious of your unconscious habits, you can start to create some real change in your life. Because really, if you can sit here in the present moment, like take a deep breath, like right now, sit here in the present moment, you're watching this video, all the things around you, they start to kind of fall, and you can just sit here and be now, be here and now. Bob Ram Dass, right? Ram Dass, fucking Be Here Now. That's another great book. um and I think the more that you can stay conscious and in the present moment, the more magic that you can create in your own life. Because the more energy that you can bring into the present moment, into your work, into your creative work, into your business, your job, your work, what you really care about, and putting your attention and energy in the present moment towards the thing that you really want to make. So I think if that's one habit that I would recommend like everybody getting into, if you already believe in this work, if you already have that knowing of there's something more out there and you want to go even deeper, dude, it is like a game of like how conscious can you become of your unconscious habits. So I'm going to say that, I say that to myself a million times every single day, and I think that's what how I've been able to create some real fucking change in my life. So I think that's my first one, is just reminding myself. I treat it like a little game, fucking write down these notes, put it in your fucking pocket, watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast. Like I listen to podcasts and audiobooks just all the time now, dude. You can train yourself, you can train your subconscious mind to remember who you really are. So that's my first favorite habit that I really think you literally will brainwash yourself. And the more you do these things, you're creating habit, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain to change how you think and change your own reality. And then I think my favorite second thing, which I fucking love, I think it's great, is inspired action. Actually taking action every single day to just get a little bit closer towards your goals. Because I really do believe whatever you want out of life, whatever you want to manifest, whatever you want to bring into right now, is ideally something that is very true and very real to you. So I'll like my story, like my little example is like, since I'm 21 now, since I was like 17 in high school, I remember I had just like realization one day. I was like, this is not for me. I want to start my own business. I want to become financially free. I want to be able to do my own thing, like a lot of people want. And I had no idea of any of these spiritual things, like any of these ideas at that moment. But I knew, I was like, I don't know if this is possible, but this is what I want to do. And since that day, since I had that moment, that realization, I went out there, I started my first business. And since then, over like the last 3 or 4 years, I've been on that grind. And I'll tell you, the last 3 years, until like the last 6 months, really, it was like an uphill battle of me trying to make this all work. And I'm just going to tell you now, everything that the really main things that I did wrong when taking action and working in those businesses was, the number one thing, I was never doing anything that was really true to me. I was always pushing kind of an uphill battle towards with the ultimate goal of just making money, and that was really it. And choosing different businesses and side hustles and jobs that were not true to me and not something that I really wanted to do. I think it's important to ask yourself the question, if you weren't getting paid for it, would you still be doing it? Would you at least still be able to like enjoy the process of what you were doing? And all those first things that I did, most of them I would probably say no to that, which I think was a big just honestly naturally will bring resistance into your goals. So I think finding something that's like true to you, and whatever that may be, for your job, for your business, your artwork, finding something that really speaks to you and your essence of who you are as a person. And then the second thing, and this is literally it, was instead of just sitting there going step by step by step, I would sit there and try to go from step one and think steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way. And I would try to sit there in my mind, plot out exactly how it should look, exactly how everything should unfold. And then through that, all the different problems that would come up. And holy shit, dude, just looking back, it's like, if you don't sit there and go step by step, one at a time, you are going to lose yourself in so much thought and so much anxiety of like thinking of the future of what could be and all the different problems and how things should work out, shouldn't work out. And the analytical mind will just start running wild all day, and you will not get anything done. So like in all those other businesses, I would just have this like terrible habit of trying to sit there and plan out like everything. And it wasn't until 6 months ago when I started like what I'm doing right now, my most recent business, I didn't think of anything. I literally was like, okay, this might work, this might be possible. And then I took step one. I did that to the best of my ability. And I took step two to the best of my ability. I took step three. And then before I fucking knew it, I was making more money than I've ever made in my entire life without any thought, without any planning. And it just naturally flowed. And it really just came out of nowhere. And it's like, you know, anybody's overnight success took like fucking 3 or 4, 3 or 4 or 5, 10 years. And that was like my case. It was like, you know, make no money for years. And then boom, all of a sudden it actually starts working and you're like, holy shit, this is real, this is working. But in finding that business and finding that, I think the most important thing is just taking inspired action and taking it like one step at a time. You need to look down at the step that's in front of you. You don't need to sit there and look at everything, because that's fucking God's job. That's the universe's job, to sit there and align every other step past that and bring the things together that you need to that's needed for this to all work out. And if you can just slow down, dude, and just do it one at a time and just relax into the present moment, it's one of the key things that I'm going to say a million times, the present moment. If you can come to the present moment and take inspired action from there, oh my God, dude, get ready, because the magic is going to unfold in your life. So I think from there, if you can take inspired action towards your goal, whatever it might be for you, and I think that's, you know, part of the thing. I used to watch these videos and be like, what's the next step? What am I, dude? That is the game. What would life be if I sat there? Yeah, my dog and my cat just got into a little fight, and I forgot what I was talking about. But I think I used to watch these videos and I'd be like, well, what do you mean the next step? What do you mean, like, what's the next step? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I think to just ask yourself, what is true to you, and see how far you can take this. Daryl Anka Bashar, if you know him, his like formula for life and success is follow what brings you the most excitement, what brings you that joy, you know, what brings you that feeling of being alive, of life itself, what brings you that, and see how far you can take that, you know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing with like if I do photography, I do like graphic design, I make t-shirts and I sell them, and I've been seeing how far I can take that, and it's been pretty good so far. And then also this too, talking to people, making videos. I'm just trying to see how far this can go too, and what I can do with this. And this is an example of my inspired action, making this YouTube video, even though it's like, look at my background, it's fucking ugly right now. I need to fix this. But this is inspired action. This is taking the next step. And then I think you need to have a little bit of, be fucking embarrassed, dude. What an amazing, being embarrassed is such a good thing, because everything you want in life, a lot of the time is on the other side of putting your ego to the side and being embarrassed, being a little weird or whatever, and putting yourself out there without the fear of judgment. So it is taking inspired action from the present moment, and like I said, taking it one step at a time, and let go and let God do his thing, its thing, the universe's thing, whatever you want to call it, and then sit there, dude, and get ready and let the magic unfold. Yeah. So I think those are two really good things right there. Reminding yourself, dude, who the fuck are you? Are you going to be the one who sits there and falls into line like everybody else? Are you going to be the motherfucker who creates your own reality? Ask yourself that and make a decision every single day and remind yourself who the fuck you are. Okay? Because you are an amazing person who can do amazing fucking things with your life. If you want to, step number 2, take inspired action every single day towards that goal. And the third thing, which, dude, I just watched a David Barrett video this morning, straight motherfucking game. Your identity and who you are as a person. Neville Goddard talks about the feeling. The feeling is the key, the secret. And a lot of people talk about these things in different ways, but if you can go through, you can read the books, you can learn everything, you can understand they're all saying the same thing in different ways. And I think you need to learn all of them, or at least learn them until you find something that resonates with you as a person and makes sense to you. So the third thing, the third brainwashing habit that I been getting into more recently and really love, and it keeps me inspired, and it keeps me hopeful throughout the day and the bad days and the bad times. It keeps me going, and it's another reminder of who the fuck are you. So your identity. Sit there and close your eyes. Sit there and close your eyes and ask yourself, what exactly do I want? Create that mental image just for fun. For me, it was like, I want to have a business that's bringing me some good money. I'd love to be making like 6 figures a year with my business. Like, that would be amazing. I want to have the ability to travel. I want to be able to provide for my family. Buy the camera gear that I want, and kind of have that financial freedom. You know what I mean? Like most people's kind of basic story. That's what I wanted. And in my past, over the last 3 years, I always had that here. This was me. This is me, working towards that goal. And this is me, the $100,000 a year person who has everything he could ever want. And they were always separate. They were always separate. And until you sit there and realize you must become this before you ever see this in the real world. Okay, let's break that down because I don't know if that made any sense. You have to sit there and consciously wake up one day and sit there and say, I am him. I am the motherfucker making $100,000 a year. And then you need to sit there and ask yourself, how would that person act? How would that person go about his life? Here's my example of like my lesson in the last few weeks that I've learned pretty harshly. So, some days in business, you have bad days. Some days it doesn't, sometimes you lose money. Sometimes you don't make as much money. It goes up, it goes down, whatever. That's the flow of life, right? And I had a moment where I'm a business, I like lost money one day for some stupid shit. And I was like, oh my God. I was like spiraling down into like, dude, what the, until I sat there and said, dude, what are you? Are you the person who makes, if you're the person who makes $100,000, is financially free, has what they want, and are comfortable in life, would this affect you? Would this matter? Dude, of course not. So I sat there, I took a deep breath, I became present, and I said, I am the motherfucker who already has everything that he wants in life, and I'm not going to react to these situations, I'm not going to react to these things, because I am him. And so I think you need to change your identity. I sit there, maybe make a whiteboard and go, this is me, who I am now. This is where I'm at. This is who I am. These are my beliefs, my habits, how I am, how I act, the things that I do, my relationships with money, people, things. And then how would the $100,000 a year, how would the $1 million fucking person act? How would he go about his life? How would he, react to situation things? And obviously, and I think for a big thing is like, the financial freedom for a lot of people. And you sit there and you put over here, well, he would have a nice car. He would have this, and that. And how am I supposed to act like that that's not the point. Those are vanity items. The thing is, embodying who that person is in your day-to-day life and whatever comes at you. So like I said, for my business, I don't react to things because I am already doing good. And I know I'm doing good because I am him. When things come up in my family, my friends, my relationships, do I need to react to those situations? Do I need to give my energy away to this? No. You have everything that you could ever need. You are whole and you have gratitude for those things. So you don't react to those situations. You don't react to those things. And you sit there and, you have a little bit of stoicism. You're a little bit stoic and you move throughout life. Being still, being present, knowing who the fuck you are as a person and embodying that identity of a motherfucker who does have it all and has exactly what you want. And then sitting there, and of course, I think this is a big thing when you can, and this is another huge thing, I think, about spirituality and all these things, dude. You can become such a good person. You can become such a better person. I feel like, not to be full of I feel like I'm a pretty decent dude. Like I care about people, I care about things. I'm not selfish, but it makes you so much more grateful and want to help other people and be a good person when you feel whole, when you have gratitude for the things you in your life, whatever you do have. You can sit there and look out into the world with rose-tinted glasses rather than being fucking pessimistic about everything. You can have a beautiful outlook on life and you can become a much better person, dude. And I'll tell you, the effect that has on other people, the effect that it has on yourself, it's magical. It's fucking magical. It's great. So I think that's my third favorite brainwashing habit. Hopefully that made sense. Choosing, dude, who are you going to be? There's the you now, and then there's the you in the future who has everything you want. And you got to sit there and you got to close the gap. Because guess what, dude? The future doesn't exist. There is only right now. So if you can embody that person, if you can embody that identity of the motherfucker who has it all, who has exactly what you want, and you can sit there and be present and do that consciously and remind yourself, guess what's going to happen? It's only a matter of time before reality catches up and you get everything that you have ever wanted and you need. And guess what, dude? A lot of the times it comes even better than you could ever freaking imagine. Yeah, how about that? Okay, so let me know. That was my first YouTube video that I posted on here. I'm gonna edit this down. I'm gonna cut this down. I might add some good music on here. If anybody watches this, who knows? Maybe that's good to see reviews. Let me know what you think. Yeah, and besides that, have a good rest of your day. Keep working hard. Stay present, and Yeah, dude, go get it, dude. Go get that fucking life, right? Because why not? It's all just a fun game.